There's one habit that quietly keeps most people poor. It is not a lack of intelligence. It is not a lack of opportunity. And it is not even a low salary. It is something far more subtle. It is a daily pattern that feels normal, responsible even, yet slowly drains your future without you noticing. And if you don't recognize it, you can work for years, even decades, and still feel financially stuck. Pause. Let's talk about the habit that keeps you poor. Most people believe poverty is dramatic. They imagine reckless spending, gambling, huge debts, or financial disasters. But real financial stagnation rarely looks dramatic. It looks ordinary. It looks like spending everything you earn, upgrading your lifestyle each time your income increases, buying things to reward yourself for working hard, keeping up with friends, choosing comfort over long-term thinking. None of these feel extreme. They feel deserved. You work hard. You earn money. You spend it. That feels fair. But here is the quiet truth. If your lifestyle grows at the same speed as your income, you will never build wealth. You will simply maintain survival at a higher level. Pause. This is the habit that keeps people poor. Not overspending wildly, but consuming everything they earn. There is a psychological pattern behind this. It is called lifestyle inflation. When your income increases, your expenses increase with it. You move to a better apartment. You upgrade your phone. You eat out more often. You travel more comfortably. Individually, these choices are not wrong, but collectively, they prevent you from building margin. And without margin, there is no investment. Without investment, there is no compounding. Without compounding, there is no long-term wealth. Pause. Most people never question this pattern. They assume, when I earn more, I will finally save. But when they earn more, their definition of enough moves further away. Enough becomes a moving target. And so they run, but never arrive. The real reason this habit persists is not financial. It is emotional. And the human brain is wired for immediate comfort. It rewards you with dopamine when you spend. It gives you a sense of status when you upgrade. It gives you relief when you treat yourself after stress. Spending feels like progress. Saving feels like restriction. Investing feels slow. And the brain prefers fast rewards. Pause. There is also social psychology involved. You are constantly exposed to images of success. On social media, on television, in conversations, nice cars, luxury apartments, designer clothes. Weekend trips, you may not consciously compare yourself, but your brain does. It whispers, you deserve that too. And so you upgrade your lifestyle to match your environment, not your long-term goals. This is not weakness, it is conditioning. There is another layer. Spending creates the illusion of security. When you improve your surroundings, you feel like you are advancing in life. A better home feels like stability. A better phone feels like success. Better experiences feel like freedom. But here is the difficult truth. Comfort is not the same as wealth. Comfort is temporary. Wealth is structural. Comfort depends on your next paycheck. Wealth reduces your dependence on it. Pause. If your lifestyle requires every dollar you earn, you are not wealthy. Even if your income is high, you are simply maintaining a fragile balance. And fragile systems collapse under pressure. Wasim, so how do we break free from this invisible trap? It starts with conscious action. First, practice mindful spending. Before any purchase, ask yourself, is this aligned with my long-term financial goals, or is it an impulse driven by emotion? Second, automate your savings. Make saving the first thing you do when you get paid. Even small, consistent amounts add up significantly over time. Treat your future self as a priority. Third, embrace delayed gratification. The satisfaction of achieving a significant financial goal is far greater than any temporary high from immediate spending. Fourth, regularly review your expenses. Understand where your money is actually going. You might be surprised by how much is spent on things that don't truly add value to your life. Fifth, find joy in free or low-cost activities. True happiness often comes from experiences and relationships, not possessions. Sixth, focus on value over status. Choose quality and utility over brand names and keeping up appearances. Finally, educate yourself. Learn about personal finance, investing, and wealth building. Knowledge is power when it comes to your money. By implementing these practical tips, you can consciously choose to build a future of wealth and security, rather than getting caught in the cycle of lifestyle inflation. It's about making deliberate choices today for a financially free tomorrow. Diaman, why it feels so hard to change. Breaking this habit is difficult because it challenges identity. When your income rises, you feel you have earned the right to upgrade. To not upgrade feels like self-denial. feels like staying small. But in reality, restraint is not small, it is strategic. The problem is that restraint is invisible. No one sees the money you did not spend. No one applauds the car you chose not to buy. No one congratulates you for maintaining your lifestyle instead of expanding it. But your future self will feel it. The habit that keeps you poor is not overspending. It is unconscious expansion, the quiet shift. So what is the alternative? It is simple but not easy. When your income increases, do not increase your lifestyle at the same pace. Increase your margin instead. Let your expenses rise slowly, if at all. Direct the difference toward savings, investments, assets, skills that increase earning power. This is not about deprivation. It is about intentional growth. Wealth is built in the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is your power. If the gap is small, your options are small. If the gap is large, your freedom expands. Compounding. The silent force. Most people underestimate compounding because it is slow at first. Saving a few £100 or dollars per month does not feel impressive. But compounding is patient. It rewards consistency more than intensity. If you consistently invest the difference between income and lifestyle, something subtle begins to happen. Time starts working for you. Your money earns, then your earnings earn. And eventually, the structure becomes self-supporting. But compounding cannot begin if there is no gap. And there is no gap if every raise becomes an upgrade. It's on a different definition of success. There is a quiet confidence that comes from financial discipline. It is not loud, it does not need validation. It does not show off, but it changes how you move through the world. You make decisions calmly. You are not pressured by every expense. You do not depend entirely on the next paycheck. That is real power, not the appearance of wealth, but the stability of it. The habit that keeps you poor is prioritizing appearance over structure. The shift is prioritizing structure over appearance. Practical reflection. Ask yourself, when was the last time your income increased? What did you do with the difference? Did your lifestyle expand immediately, or did your margin expand? There is no judgment here, only awareness. If you recognize this habit in yourself, that is not failure, it is clarity. And clarity is the beginning of change. The long game building wealth is not dramatic. It is not a sudden transformation. It is a series of quiet decisions repeated over years. Choosing the smaller apartment when you could afford the larger one. Keeping the same phone another year. Driving the reliable car instead of the impressive one. Investing the difference. Learning continuously. Expanding income without expanding lifestyle at the same speed. This is not glamorous, but it works. There's final perspective. Many people earn enough to build wealth. Few develop the habit required to keep it. Income alone does not create financial freedom. Behavior does. If you master the habit of preserving margin, you change your trajectory. If you allow lifestyle to consume every increase, you remain on a treadmill. Working, earning, spending, repeating. The habit that keeps you poor is not dramatic overspending. It is unconscious expansion, and the shift is deliberate restraint. Quiet, strategic. First, if this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on your current habits. Not with guilt, but with honesty. Small adjustments today can redirect years of financial outcomes. This channel is about understanding money at a deeper level. The psychology behind it, the habits that shape it, and the quiet strategies that build lasting wealth. If you want to think clearly about money and build it steadily rather than chase it endlessly, subscribe and continue the journey. Real wealth grows quietly, and it begins with awareness.